small areas that they don't have as much, traction as far as just everyday walking and all of that, or whatever.
So like, you gonna do Pop Basil like out of here for one day or something?
Nah, so we were thinking about possibly doing like on Friday, doing like a meet and greet type situation.
Yeah.
But other than that, Pop Basil, we 50 to 100 different visual artists and painters. So
you got the big spot, man.
Yeah.
You gonna do it the same spot?
We're doing it at. We probably do. We in between doing it at Man Robinson Studios or doing it at Best End Brewery.
Okay.
Over there off in the West End Beltline area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So yeah, we're gonna talk about everything though, like how you got into it, how you built your name, the rap snack situation, you doing Pop Basil, some whole shit. It's Basil Basil.
Some people say Basil, some people say Basil. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like I say Pop Basil.
Pop Basil.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna go with. Pop Basil.
Yeah.
And we outside with it, man. Sauce TV, we back at it. Another one, man. Been out here creating dope content, man. Shout out to the whole squad. Shout out to Kayla. Shout out to the homie Zig. And we are up here at one of the shops in the heart of Atlanta. Okay, and we out here at Little 5 Points right now. Okay, the place that's being gentrified, but we still outside still, man. I'm kicking with one of the top artists. I'm talking about artists, visual artists. I'm not talking about rappers. Of course, we got a lot of dope rappers that come out of Atlanta. I'm talking about visual artists, King Pop. My God, it's good with you, man.
Bless.
It's dope, man, because me and him met on the set of a podcast. Shout out to homie Eldridge. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But we met up on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Chopped it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This was like probably what, 2 years? 2 years to
It's
change?
been about 2 years.
Yeah.
It's been about 2 years, close to 3 years. Big facts. And it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's dope how we just organically connected and we stayed connected just from that, you know what I'm saying, podcast.
And the thing is though, like, we wasn't even on the podcast trying to promote ourselves or what we had going on, man. We were just having real grown man conversation. And I found out that this dude is an artist, but he was so humble about it. You know what I mean? And then I go look at his work, I'm like, damn, this dude did all this, and I had seen this man's work around the city because I'm an art guy. I like to visit the art galleries and everything. I like to see street art, and I had seen this man's art. But the crazy part is, everybody has seen this man's art. If you've been to the gas station, if you've been in Walmart, if you've been in Sam's Club, you done seen this man's art. You designed the rap snacks.
Yeah.
The rap snacks bag, bro.
Yes.
That's crazy, man. But we're gonna talk about all of that for real. But how did you get in on it?
Honestly, man, like I feel like I've always been like an artist, like since a kid, since 4 or 5 years old. You know what I mean? Going to the Boys and Girls Club. You know what I mean? Folks used to expect me to, be in the gym and playing ball or whatever, because that's something that I was very good at too. But I used to sneak to the damn arts and crafts room at the Boys and Girls Club. So it was very early on that somehow I knew that I would be, doing something with art. I just didn't know what at the time.
Like, where are you from? Like, where you
originally from North Carolina, Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Goldsboro.
Yeah.
So that's like close to the mountains, right?
It's far east, so it's near Raleigh, Durham.
Okay, so that's my second home. Shout out to Durham. Shout out to the Bull.
Nah, definitely. Definitely. You already know.
Yeah, I used to spend all my summers up in Durham as a kid.
Word.
Got family in North Carolina. Used to live in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Charlotte.
Family's still there. Like a lot of my family's still there. I got family here in Georgia, and then I got family, in North Carolina, man. So definitely shout out to Carolina all day.
Yeah, man. So, and the thing is, like, growing up in North Carolina, especially Goldsboro, it ain't an identity. It's not.
Nah, not at all.
But you was able to channel it in art.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, it was one of those things where there was a lot of talent, a lot of creativity, just around. But I feel like there were only so many different ways out. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of times sports was the way out or whatever, and it was my way out because I ended up, getting a basketball scholarship or whatever. I played ball at 2 different schools. I started off at Mars Hill, which is in North Carolina.
Yeah, shout out to Mars Hill. One of my homeboys played football there.
Okay. So I started there, played 2 years there, and ended up transferring to St. Mary's University in Minnesota.
Okay. So you was up there with the big boys.
Man, I was, you know what I'm saying? I was doing a little something, man. You know what I mean? And I feel like I gave it my all with the basketball thing, and it kind of led me, to fashion and interior merchandising and graphic design, which, I'm glad that, I was able to kind of channel those energies through basketball.
Dope.
Yeah.
So like, what you play, like guard?
I play point guard.
Point guard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you ever slam on somebody, you ever cross somebody, make them fall? Like...
Nah, definitely. Like, especially in high school, I definitely, I was a guard that, I
had that sauce.
Yeah, fact.
So like, how far did you go? Did y'all go state?
We definitely went to state. I didn't, my senior year, I think our record was like 19-7 or something like that. But unfortunately, we ended up, not making it super far. One of our top players, big man, ended up getting injured or whatever, so that kind of derailed us.
You know how that goes.
Yeah. You need somebody getting rebounds and, a force inside or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so what year you came out?
2001.
2001. Okay, yeah, man, it was a lot of big time athletes that came out of North Carolina during those years, you know what I'm saying? Because like 2001, I moved to Concord, Kannapolis, like 2002.
Okay.
And I was playing football at Concord.
So you play ball too? Okay.
Yeah, man. Shout out to D Balls, Ishmael Smith, still in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot of talent that was in North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Football and basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like your college years, like did y'all ever make it to the tournament?
Nah, man. I feel like we were always in like a rebuilding type of environment. I feel like our coaches were like more like developmental coaches opposed to like being like more like strategic coaches to be able to kind of advance and stuff like that. But it was a cool experience. I feel like I gained a lot as far as just discipline, because when you start getting into the higher levels in sports or whatever, I feel like the discipline and the practicing and all of that, the regiment, associated with being able to, do some things or whatever, it kind of just
that shit get old.
That shit
it's
crazy.
Yeah, because everybody who don't really play ball, man, like when the off season comes, bro, you literally be happy. Even if you ain't win the championship, you be happy in the back of your mind. You like, bro, I'm tired, bro. I just want to chill for a little bit, man. So like that was your mindset when you got done your senior year?
Honestly, I think it was more so like, all right, I ended up my junior year, I got a major concussion.
Oh shit.
So
basketball?
Playing ball.
But you
and
failed?
It's crazy. me and a guy like chasing a loose ball, collided, and we, what I'm saying? And it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like concussion, I was literally out like cold for a little while, and it never really like got back right as far as just like that year, getting my equilibrium back, you know what I'm saying, together or whatever. And in fact, I slick caught pneumonia or whatever during that same period. And mind you, I'm in Minnesota. So, it was crazy.
By yourself.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I was down bad for a little while, man. Luckily, I had one of my homies up there. He was playing ball too, or whatever, and he looked out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Made sure I was straight or whatever, man. But it was crazy because shit, we was just up there. You know what I mean? Like, for real.
Right. So you get finished with basketball, and the first thing on your mind is doing art.
So I feel like the transition was definitely, it was more of a situation where I decided after the concussion and everything, I was like, yo, I can continue to, quote unquote rehab and come back, you know what I'm saying, play my, my senior year. And I definitely had like, hopes and dreams of like playing professional or whatever. But it was also this other thing, you know what I'm saying, art and design that I was really good at. And I was just like, yo, at that moment I was like, I could continue to do this for an extended period of time and not have to worry about injury or none of that. So I was just like, yo, let me just move back to the A and pursue, just creative or whatever. And I ended up transferring to the Arts to Atlanta. Okay. So, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise because I got what I needed from St. Mary's, which was, I transferred and I switched majors. Switched majors to from fashion and interior merchandising to graphic design. Okay. And I feel like the foundation of the two kind of helped, develop and give me a good foundation to build on.
Yeah, absolutely. So with graphic design, like you being an artist, did you already know what your lane of art was? Or?
I didn't. I had no idea. In fact, I feel like the only exposure that I had to art was like my cousin. He went to school at A&T or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But he studied civil engineering, so it was a little bit more technical what he ended up going through. But he used to draw, he used to sketch and stuff, so I would see some of his sketches and some of his drawings or whatever. And I feel like I kind of took to a liking of just art at a very early age, just because of that aspect and being able to just say, hey, look, I can create whatever, that's in my mind or whatever.
So that was the thing about art that drew you to it, was the fact that you can take whatever was in your head and your imagination and you can put it on paper or you can put it on the computer.
Yeah, definitely.
That's actually dope, man, because like I remember as a kid, like being in the art, but I knew I couldn't draw for shit. Yeah. I couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? But I could trace like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like what I used to do, like the kids who could draw good, I'd be like, let me see that shit. I'd take that shit. And I'd trace that shit, and then I would just keep redoing it. You know what I mean?
Nah, definitely.
And that was my love for art, but it's just like I really didn't have a passion for it. You know what I'm saying? Like my passion was more so the art of hip hop.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel that. I definitely feel that.
And a lot of your art is hip hop inspired.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I haven't really came out on record and said it, but I feel like I'm the hip hop Andy Warhol.
Oh shit!
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of our culture isn't necessarily framed in the way that Andy Warhol framed pop culture, in the sense of like him highlighting the things that were relevant during the time that he was capturing his art or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it gave the culture, the celebrity and the influence, it gave it a whole nother life or whatever. I feel like he was back then what social influencers are today. And which is crazy to me, you know what I'm saying, like how he developed content, and he didn't just create art from a visual standpoint only, like like paintings. He did like multimedia, he did clothing, he did film, he did all of these different facets of art. And I feel like through studying his work, I realized that I had a big wide range of things that I could kind of tackle at one time.
So Andy Warhol is your favorite artist?
I feel like Keith Haring is my favorite artist. Okay. If I had to say, a person, the most influential to me.
He black?
Nah, he's not.
Keith Haring? He sound like a black guy.
Keith Haring, he's a white guy. He's a white guy.
Haring. Okay.
Yeah. But I feel like Basquiat is another influential artist, as well. But it's crazy because they came up, during that same, time period or whatever. And, just the organicness of what they developed during that time period was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm more familiar with Andy Warhol's portraits and some pictures, you know.
Definitely.
But it's just like what you said, you know, as far as like how he captured a lot of the stars back in the day. Like he brought sexiness, he brought simplicity, you know what I'm saying? And you can tell this is not the guy that's shooting for one of the news stations or something like that, you know.
Not at all.
He had some type of mystique about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
very much so.
Even in his art.
Very much so. I studied his work, man. Like I really studied his portraiture, like he was just talking about. I studied like the aesthetics, you know what I'm saying, that he would bring to the table, which were very unique in style. I feel like you can if you see an Andy Warhol piece, it don't matter where we're at in the world, or you see his influence in his style anywhere in the world. You can, if you know about his work, you can easily identify, like, even if it's not one of his pieces, you're like, okay, this is influenced by his work. And that's the thing that I feel like I gravitated towards most, and I feel like I kind of was like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, I have to develop my style, and I have to create like somewhat of an iconic style for people to kind of be able to view and see my work in a certain light or whatever when they do experience it.
So what was that process like, developing your own style?
Honestly, man, it took like, it took a few summers. In fact, I feel like, it took more than a few summers. I almost would say, 6-7 years.
Shit.
To develop, you know what I'm saying?
I can feel that.
Yeah, it took a while. It took a while, and I went through so many different like phases of developing my style or whatever, and it's one of those things where it just didn't happen right away.
I feel that, because like in this game, like me being in media, doing radio and shit like that, but it's just everybody who's a creative, you have to go through that process of finding what your lane is, you know what I'm saying? And like early in the game, like you see people that's winning. Hey ladies, how y'all doing? Oh no, y'all good, long flowing hair. I see it. Beautiful, your skin is clear too. I see that. But like just going through that process, like even me, like I remember I was just trying to, just figure it out, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing, like everybody in this game, like sidebar real quick. Everybody just trying to figure it out. It don't matter where you at in life, dog. You could be working for yourself, working for somebody else. You could be in college, out of college, in the fucking military, you in prison, you just got out of prison, whatever. Everybody living right now is trying to figure it out. That's it. We all trying to figure it out.
Literally.
Trust me, you know what I'm saying? And when you figure it out for you, that's when you'll start living the life that you want to live. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing though. And it's a process in figuring it out, because it's a lot that go into it. Figuring it out ain't just the money. Nah. Even though you want the money, it ain't just the money. It's a million other things, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot that goes into this thing called life.
Yeah, you gotta put that sauce together.
Yeah, that's it, bro. That's the thing, dog. Dog, do you know how long it took for me to figure out that I had sauce? Bro, it took me a minute to figure that shit out, dog. It's like, dog, like
ingredients.
Yeah, bro, but you wanna know what, dog? The only way you gonna figure it out is if you try. Yeah. You gotta fucking do it to figure it out. This thing called life is a hands-on job, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? School can't teach you this shit.
Nah.
School can't teach you to be the CEO.
Not at all.
Ain't no school teaching you to be no CEO.
Not at all.
Ain't no school teaching you how to be able to retire at 50. Or before that, and have you a vacation home in a whole nother country and shit like that. You on the beach every day. Ain't nobody teaching you that.
Let's put all of those things in the plan.
Yeah, man, for real. Like, and you know what I'm saying? Cause like that's the thing, and like just like when you said that, just trying to figure it out, bro. It take a minute. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of sleepless nights. Dude, you be up till 2-3 in the morning thinking that you're working hard and you ain't got shit done. Man. But you just trying to figure shit out. It's a million things going through your head, bro.
Years of just playing around with different concepts, playing around with different mediums, collaborating with different artists, collaborating with different brands, collaborating with different businesses. Like all of those things, I feel like it took all of those different things for me to be like, you know what? dang, this is it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the this is it moment for me didn't even happen from any of the things that I just mentioned. The this is it happened for me was like, all right, let me create something for my son. I created a coloring book concept for my son.
Yeah.
And I feel like it basically harnessed like all of the skills and all of the like different things that I had developed and mastered up until that point.
Yeah.
And it was like a side project that was like, oh, damn, let me try this. I tried it and literally like people gravitated towards it and it just like landed so many different, you know, projects that I'm currently working on and had worked on.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So like, so the kids coloring book is still available, right?
It's still available.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Still, man. We definitely gotta get that to the children for real,
Oh
bro.
man, all the way.
Dang, so like, so that this is it moment for you. Was it when you made it? Like in the process of making it, or was it like afterwards? Like
It
when
was-
you saw the results.
It
of
was definitely when I was developing it. I had a grand concept that I used where the idea was to create this life-size coloring book.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That people could interact with. You had like the physical copy of the coloring book, and then you had these, you know, life-size, blown-up, you know, coloring book pages, you know, that I would use in an interactive way where people could color in the large pages or whatever at the event or whatever.
Okay.
So like on the like, you know, when I came up with the idea, I was like, damn, let me take it a little bit further, and I came up with like a rollout plan for the actual, you know, presentation of the coloring book, and literally, you know, people came in the event or whatever, and they enjoyed like, you know, doing it, and you know, shout out to all the other coloring book concepts and ideas that I feel like came after that I noticed in the city. People doing coloring book shows and interactives and all kinds.
You ain't got the sauce though, man. You can't duplicate the sauce, man. That's
Man,
all it is.
I saw it. I was just like, yo, this is crazy. I'm like, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, influence. Influence is like, okay, these people are seeing, you know, the vision behind it or whatever. And so, man, I done developed, like, I don't know how many coloring books since. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, the process and like Nip said, you know what I'm saying? The marathon continues.
Motherfucking right, bro. Shit. Motherfucking right. Yeah, so it started with that, and then from there it just felt like everything just opened up for you more so?
Yeah, I felt like, you know, it landed, you know, other projects from, you know, me working with Atlanta Dream, me working with Rap Snacks, me working with, you know, Atlanta United, me working with a lot of different, you know, brands. I mean, even before any of those brands and before the coloring book, I had already had like, you know, opportunities that I would, you know, do with, you know, other companies that I feel like help with the process of that. But, you know, I feel like, you know, those made it moments, I feel like are gonna be everlasting as long as I continue to educate myself and continue to like develop as an artist, as a brand, as a father, you know, as a friend. Those aha moments will continue to happen because, like, for me, it's more about the impact and me being able to help others develop their skills through experiencing me developing as a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like, you know, I didn't know that right away, but I feel like some of the successes that I've had led me to that better understanding of like, okay, this is the bigger reason why I'm doing it, not just like, oh, let me reach this grand, you know, aha, I done made a lot of money type, you know what I'm saying, things or whatever, or like the intangibles, cars and clothes and jewelry and houses and all that stuff.
I
like,
want that too though.
I want all that. I want all of that. We gonna get all that. We're getting all of that. You feel me? But outside of that, it's like, all right, what about the impact? What about, you know, influence? What about the legacy? You know what I'm saying? Which is more important because that you know, you leave that behind and people can, you know, continue to grow from that years to come.
I feel that because like, I think like within this past year, like it started hitting me. Like, you know, like what I do is bigger than me. So if nothing else, if bare minimum, let me just make sure that I handle everything the right way. I do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? When I'm on the scene, when I'm not on the scene, just make sure that I conduct myself.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it be the smallest shit that could block a blessing, or for you or somebody around you. It be the smallest shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you think that, you know, it ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? When you realize that it's bigger than you, that's when you really realize that you can't move like everybody else moves. You can't live this thing called life like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, for other people, shit seems so easy for them to do whatever that is. But for you, you can't even do it like that, because you know what, man, I got all these people, you know what I'm saying? I can't even do what you do, you know what I'm saying? It can be the smallest shit, but it can change a lot, you know what I'm saying? And just like what you said, like with legacy, you know, like, I think we're blessed because our generation and so many young black people now are so focused on that now, you know what I'm saying? Like legacy. Let's leave something behind. Let's make a change, you know what I'm saying? Let's make an impact, you know what I mean? Influence, you know what I'm saying? Let's inspire, you know what I'm saying? But you mentioned Rap Snacks. How did that happen?
I went to school with a young lady named Daisha Webb. And she actually, at the time, she worked with a lot of different people, you know what I'm saying, early on, from freaking Gucci to Nicki Minaj to a lot of different, you know, people. She's currently working with Deborah Andy, Walker's mom.
Miss Deb.
But just, she be in rooms, she be in different rooms or whatever, and, you know, she was working with Rap Snacks, like, years before that, helping with social media, helping build content, developing the brand. And she reached out to me, like, you know, randomly reached out to me, said, hey, look, I got this company called Rap Snacks or whatever. It's a potato chip brand. You know, you think you would be interested in helping develop some branding, some package design for them or whatever. And I'm saying, you know, I'm cool. I'm always, you know, open to, you know, working with different brands or whatever. And mind you, this is before I really was like all the way in tune with the brand and what the legacy behind the brand was or any of those things. I was just open to the idea of diversifying my brand through another brand. You know what I'm saying?
Collabing.
Literally. And the next thing you know, James Lindsay, the founder of the company, he reached out to me. You know, within a week, he's at my office. You know what I'm saying? He pulled up to my office or whatever, and we talked for a little while. Wrote me a check or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To begin the development of the brand. And shoot, you know, I feel like, you know, 6 months, 8 months passed, and then we in stores nationally. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't even, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting any of this. It was just like, all right, you know, 6 months of, like, me sketching, me, you know, creating designs, me, you know, working with different artists, you know, filtering through different images, all of this different stuff or whatever. You know, bam, you know what I'm saying? We here, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, national distribution, Walmart's, Targets, you know what I'm saying? All of these different things happening or whatever, and you know, it's definitely been a huge blessing to my brand. I'm definitely forever grateful for that. That's like you know, big legacy play. And you know, I had did some stuff like before that, but hip hop, you know what I'm saying? I hadn't done anything like, I feel like to stamp hip hop or whatever, and I feel like that was like, you know, one of those things to stamp hip hop. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like the things that have led after that.
Yeah, so like you've done all the designs since then.
So I developed the template for the artist to come behind. So from the logo design, from the, you know, the caricature style, you know, I created like, you know, the creative direction for it. And other artists, you know, have since, after like probably like what, 4 or 5 designs later, you know what I'm saying, other artists kind of, you know, input some of their stuff. But, you know, me personally, I never really want to kind of just pigeonhole myself to just only working with one brand.
Absolutely.
I'll probably never work with another like shit brand unless they paying like a crazy bag just because.
Frito Lay's, my nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Frito Lay's, you know what I mean? You know, another
salt
brand.
and vinegar.
But you know, it's just one of those things, man. Like, you know, it opened up so many doors.
Yeah.
You know, within the food industry, and just within the culture itself.
So you designed a template. So do you get like royalties on that?
You know what I'm saying? I'm doing okay.
All right, then that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I'm doing okay.
Okay, cool. I learned something every day.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I feel like I've embedded myself within the brand in a way where I'm always gonna be able to continue to grow with the brand and continue to, you know, make some money off the brand as well.
Yeah.
So you know, that's one of those things I feel like, you know, as a business person, it's very smart and strategic, you know, to be that way or whatever, because they're so short-minded and kind of, you know, don't understand the significance of, you know, being able to collaborate with brands and continue to grow your brand through other brands. So I'm Rap Snacks for life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There's no
Shout to see it. We gotta have a conversation, man. You know what I'm saying, about that idea. We're gonna talk. You know I got the number, so we're gonna chop it up man, for real. And man, so what was the thought process when first you got the check? You know what I'm saying? Because that's when it's real. You know what I'm saying? You got the check. Like, what was your thought process going into the design?
Honestly, I feel like my first thought process was, alright, this is an opportunity to work with some influential artists. We started off with like, you know, what, like 4 or 5 different artists that we were looking at. Young Thug, Amigos, who else? Fetty Wap, Yo Gotti, and I think it was like one other artist that we had deals on the table, you know what I'm saying, all at one time. So the time clock was ticking like right away, because we had to get, you know, mock-ups to like the distribution, because I work directly with the distribution channels, and I work directly with the the producers, you know what I'm saying, the people who actually, you know what I'm saying, stack the bags and all of that or whatever. So I work directly with the distribution channels, and it was one of those things where, you know, it was back and forth, you know, adjusting the bags, working with the actual artists as far as like coming up with the right layout that suited the style of the artist. So really like customizing the bags to fit the swag, you know what I'm saying, of another artist or whatever. And you know, I feel like for the most part it was pretty seamless, because I just, you know, I had like a certain system of creating mock-ups and like not being like so like married to any of the mock-ups, and kind of like allowing things to develop through collaboration. That, you know, things kind of like happen, you know, pretty fast or whatever. You know, but
that's what's happening, man. You went and designed a staple in the culture now.
Man, crazy.
Like, that's what's crazy, man, because every time I see the bag, you know what I'm saying, I see somebody, you know what I'm saying, some kid, I'm like, yo, man,
that's the homie. That's the
homie right there, man. He did that, you know what I'm saying?
That's the homie, and I love that. I absolutely love that, man. Like, being able to, for real, walk in the gas station, walk in, you know, in Walmart, walk in a Target, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was going crazy. Like, it was like going viral. Like, you know, like so many times it was just going viral through, you know, other artists who didn't even have, you know, their own signature bags, through, you know, shoot, radio, through, like, you know what I'm saying, like freaking Super Bowl game, like, like all kinds of different things or whatever, man. Like, you know, and when you first working on something, you're not thinking like, oh, this is gonna go to that level. But for me, like when I was developing it, I was like, I'm gonna put this kind of, you know, focus on it. Like I'm gonna like, all right, this is what this could potentially be one of those things that kind of like, you know, push my whole trajectory to a whole nother level. And I feel like, you know, for the culture, for our people, I feel like that's what it did. You know,
you did that.
Oh, man.
Did that, man. That's what's happening, man. So, like, you did that. You dropping your own artwork. You know what I'm saying? The whole shop is filled with it.
Yeah.
But you also have your own art event.
Yeah.
Pop Basil.
Yeah.
Not Art Basil.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah.
Better.
Nah, facts.
So how'd you come up with that?
It's crazy. I feel like through experiencing Art Basel, experiencing Complex Con, experiencing so many different pop-up events that I did and experienced all around the country, I noticed that Atlanta didn't have anything like that. You know, I'm big on like wanting to help like the next emerging creatives, the next, you know, emerging designers, you know, artists, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Atlanta didn't have that, and I was like, you know what, let me fill that void. Let me step in and, you know, create something that I can do year in and year out. We on our 5th year anniversary this year. And you know, so, you know, 50, 60 different clothing brands, 50, 60 different visual artists, live performers, DJs, all of that, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, volunteers, grabbing high school students to you know, learn valuable things or whatever, you know, getting interns, like a lot of different like moving parts that I feel like create somewhat of an ecosystem for creatives and you know, build that morale, you know, and you know, it's just one of those things, man. I'm the more and more I grow as an artist, I feel like there's more opportunities that are presented to me to be able to be that, you know, vessel, you know, for others, and that's what I, you know, decided to do with Pop Basil.
That's what's happening, man. Living in your purpose, man. So when is Pop Basil again?
This year, Pop Basil is September the 3rd and 4th, and on September the 2nd, we're doing a meet and greet for all the participants. You know, so yeah, it's coming up real soon.
Absolutely, man. King Pop, man. Out here doing all this major shit, bro. Yeah. And we up in the shop, man. We still got customers, potential customers, and clientele.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening, man. That's what's happening. But I know it's a lot of young creators that's, you know what I'm saying, checking this out right now. I know the main thing everybody wants to know. How do you get to the money as an artist?
Man, I feel like the first thing that an artist should do is you know, you're serious about making money within any creative field, or just field in general. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it goes, you know, across the board. Developing a process of being able to reach an end goal. You know what I'm saying? Like some people call it a style, but I feel like it's just a process that you keep each and every time that you're presenting something, you know, designing something, whatever that is. I feel like it's a process that you end up doing to reach that end goal. I feel like a lot of times the youth end up getting so tied in with the end process that they don't actually develop a process. They focus on the end goal instead of like creating something that they can go back to, you know, at any given moment or whatever. And I feel like that's the secret, you know what I'm saying, to it all, is just creating a process and really sticking to that process no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like truly like believing in that process, you know, and you gotta find that process, you know what I mean, to be able to believe in it. And it, you know, takes like just repetition, you know what I'm saying, you know, trying different things out or whatever, you know what I mean, and you know, for real, you know, landing, you know, that big opportunity that everybody always wants to land will happen organically.
So feel me? So at the end of the day, you gotta devote yourself to the craft.
Man.
You don't even worry about the money. The money will come.
Man, like, I'm trying
But
to
the
tell
money
you.
will come. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I know it may seem like it's not coming.
Yeah.
And yet you gotta do a whole bunch of shit that you don't want to do in the
All the
meantime.
time. We all
to
do.
supplement. But hey, at the end of the day, trust me, when you start getting to the money, you won't even be thinking about the days that you were struggling. That shit will be like a distant memory.
Man, I'm trying to tell you,
That shit
like,
a distant memory, bro. Once you start getting some real bread and you doing this shit full time, you ain't gonna be worried about that shit, bro. You like, man, I don't even remember
when
that
them calls come in.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I'm saying?
real.
Them random calls.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, you know, you be like, damn, like, and for me, like, you know, like I say, I'm a student. I'm forever learning. I'm forever growing. I'm forever developing my skills.
Yeah.
I'm never like too big to like, you know, not, you know, take the time to do something that I did 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always like, all right, you know what? Let me take this time to develop this. And I feel like because I'm always in student mode, I'm always in learning mode. I feel like when those big opportunities come, I'm still forever humbled by getting those opportunities because it's like, dang, like somebody else could have got that call.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like there's somebody with equal talent. There's someone with equal resources. You know what I'm saying? But for whatever reason, God chose me.
And payment ain't paid. I feel
So, you feel me?
brother.
Like, so yeah, man, like, you know, I'm just like, man, just like, thank God, you know, for not giving up on me and you know, thank God for continuing to give me the consciousness to continue to develop my skills, continue to educate myself, pick up a book, you know what I'm saying, Google something, YouTube something that's moving in the direction that I want to move in, instead of spending time doing other things that don't necessarily invest, you know, the right, you know, type of energy in my life or whatever. And I always, you know, I check myself in those moments.
Yeah.
Cause we all get, you know what I'm saying, comfortable and relaxed sometimes, like, you know, but like not being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like forever being hungry.
Yeah.
You know? Cause there's a lot of artists out here. It's a lot of designers out here. It's a lot of dope people out here in this world.
They popping up
But
every day.
how bad you want it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't want it, if you're not willing to put that time in, like it's just, it's not gonna happen. Or it might happen and you might fall off just as fast as you get there.